I'm 48, and I'm dying to live. Take a walk with me. You know, a lot of people, they go through life and they deal with different issues, and they don't know how to cope. They don't know how to deal with their struggles. But me, I've been dying to live for a long time. Maybe you can understand. Maybe you will learn something from this struggle. A lot of people, they go through life and they don't realize the traps, the pain. But me, I just learned to adapt. Just take a stroll, you know? And it's something a lot of people can't deal with. When you're dealing with so much, it feels like a heavy weight is on your back. It feels like the whole world is closing in on you. Most of the time, you try to tell people, you try to tell them what you're going through, but it's like they don't even understand these things. It's like no matter what you say, no matter what you do, they just don't get it, you know? But for me, I just kind of take my time, relax, go through the motion, and just try to figure it out the best that I could, you know? And for whatever reason, I don't let things bother me like other people, you know? Like sometimes you have people, they let life break them. I let life make me. And that's why I believe that when you're dealing with life, when you're dealing with the struggles, you can't let circumstances take you down. You gotta just adapt to certain things and don't let nothing move you. When you're dying to live, nothing else matters because it's only one way out. Just like there's many ways in, there's only one way out of the problem. So you gotta decide what you're gonna do, you know? Very windy out here, but we're gonna make the best of this. I just wanted to get out, take a walk. Because a lot of times, when you're dying to live, it feels like the whole world is crashing in on you. It feels like everything is trying to stop you. It feels like family, friends, people, everybody is working overtime to distract you. So you pretty much gotta be on point at all times, or else you're gonna fall into a pit and you're not gonna be able to give up. You're not gonna be able to, not necessarily give up, but you're not gonna be able to focus on what the solutions is. And this is why I say your peace and your solitude. It's very important when you're focusing on your journey. It's basically, how bad do you want it? How bad do you need it? Because problems and people and circumstances will always be there to try to distract you. But the goal is, are you willing to go through it? Are you willing to take the challenge? Or will you just give up and quit, complain, talk about all the problems and everything? I mean, I'm not saying you can't talk about those things, but it's not helping. It really is not helping. When you're dealing with a lot of issues, you need to protect your peace. You need to protect your solitude, because all of that can be taxing on your energy. And most times, nobody cares, man. Believe it or not, the more you try to maintain and adapt, the more people ignore that. That's why I say it's something that you gotta do, something you gotta put into practice. When you're dying to live, nothing else matters but your peace. That's what I try to focus on. You know, sometimes you gotta get out, take a walk, get into nature and look around you, because it'll recalibrate your mind. It'll make you focus on the way out, the plan. Because most of the times when we're going through something, we're not focused on the solution, because the problem, it outweighs what we're dealing with. And that's the distraction. It really is. And I don't like being distracted, but at the same time, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird how life throws things at you to distract you, to make you amplify minor things and turn them into major things, you know? So as I walk, I'm recalibrating my energy, and nothing else matters to me. Because nobody's gonna ever really understand you perfectly, even though we're in a world where there's a lot of pain and misery. People are dying to live. Literally walking around dying to live. Go into your job, struggling, trying to maintain, you know? It's crazy, guys. But at the same time, I don't let nothing move me, because I realize that life is what you make it. And it's up to me. It's up to me to pretty much do what I gotta do to maintain, you know? Sometimes life can be cruel. Sometimes life can be a time to reflect. And that's what I want to focus on. The reflection in the mirror. Reflecting on what you deal with, you know? It's just something that I feel a lot of people need to do that. It's very important, you know? Getting your energy situated. Getting yourself in order so that you're able to get through the darkness. You know, when you're dying to live, it feels like you're the only one on that journey. It feels like you're the only one on that road, you know? And most of the times, you're not. You're not the only one. You're just the only one that's brave enough to go on the journey. Most people, they're afraid of life. They're afraid of the struggles. They're afraid of change. They're afraid of everything. But we're not. We're not going to be afraid. We're going to go through it. We're going to, understand exactly what we got to deal with, because a lot of people, they're just not built for that type of stuff, They're not. People think they're strong, but most people are not strong. If you are a person who is fighting, who is dying to live, you understand. You understand the struggle. You understand what you're dealing with. Only you understand that. A lot of people will never get there because they give up. They give up on themselves. They give up on their passions. They give up on their dreams. And I know it's tough, man, but we still got to go through it. You see, I provide content, real content. It takes energy to walk out here. It takes energy to do this. But the question is, am I helping people? Am I reaching people? Did the message resonate with you? Because if it didn't, then I'm wasting my time. Because for me, I like to reach other people. I like to help people. But in order to do that, I gotta help myself. And even though I go through the struggles, what good would it be if I can't even be an example? So, the things I do gotta be real for you. That's why I take these walks and reflect on what I'm dealing with. Because hopefully, it'll make you understand what you're dealing with. And we can all win because we understand each other. I want this platform to be a place where a lot of like-minded people can come to, and we all understand each other. We all understand what the message is about. I want every video on this platform to resonate with the listener so that they all can see and hear my thoughts, so that they can find a video that can absolutely encourage them, be a blessing to them. That's what we're doing here. So be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, notification bell. Do what is necessary. Because at the end of the day, I still got to do what I got to do. Fixing something on the yard here. So guys, be mindful of that. I'll come back with my hammer and fix that. Be mindful of protecting your peace, protecting your solitude, doing what is necessary. Because only you can overcome these issues. Nobody will never understand you, man. Nobody will never understand the issues that you got. It's really up to you to know these things. This is what I try to I try to instill these values in people, man, but it's really difficult to do because most of them, they don't listen to nothing. They just play around. They think everything is a joke. And you just got to keep fighting, man. That's the best thing I could tell you is just keep fighting. Don't give up. Don't let nothing bring you down. Don't let the expectations of people bring you down. Don't let none of that stuff weigh in on you. Sometimes it could get real heavy. You know, sometimes your pain, your issues, all of that type of stuff weighs in on you. And trust me, man, I know the feeling of this. I know what it's like. And I try to make people understand these things, you know? I try to make people realize that some things is just out of your control, guys. Like, literally, there's certain things that are out of our control. We can't even, it's tough to understand because a lot of you deal with these issues where you're fighting, you're dying to live, you're doing everything in your power, and it feels like you're the only one there. The only one. It's out of your control, man. The only thing you can do is what you could control. That's how you got to look at this. You got to look at this situation like, look, I can only do what I can control. That's the only thing I can do. What I can control. And if something is out of your control, you just got to let it go, you know? Let it go and don't sit there fighting and messing your whole world up trying to do things that you can't really understand. So guys, if you are dying to live, continue to die. Die to self, die to your negativity, die to the things that don't really matter. You know what I'm saying? Because certain things, it don't matter. And that's why we live for the moment. Peace.